This is a video that's going to take you through one of the 1040 scenarios that I've posted for your asynchronous learning today. So we're going to go to our team, locate our class, and in our class, let's go to our assignments. You can see our assignment is posted today. It is the 30th of October. So I am going to go to, I'm going to go to Student View so you can see what we're going to do. I want you to download a 1040 for each of these scenarios, and then you'll name them something different. So I'm going to download a blank 1040 form, and I'm also going to download the information for the 1040 tax assignment. As I told you in class, when you download these, go to your File Explorer and locate your download folder. You can see up here I have my frequent folders. If yours doesn't show up, then just look down the left side of the window and find it. So you can see I downloaded the blank 1040 form. I'm going to right-click on it, and I'm going to make sure that I open it with Adobe Acrobat DC. I'm also going to do the same thing with the directions for this assignment. So I'm going to click on it, right-click on it, and then I'm going to open it with Adobe Acrobat DC. Now, if you have Adobe open, I want to show you if this little arrow over here, this expands the window over here where you have some other tools that you can add in. These are features that I would like for you to be familiar with, and if there's something that we need, I will show you how to use that. So I'm going to show you how to complete this scenario. Love those tips. When you were in high school, your neighbor approached you about working in his restaurant. You started out as a busboy, became a host, and now you're running tables. You love interacting with the customers, and your friendly service usually results in big tips. So you can see here, we have a filing status single. Our wages are $27,350, and we have $7,000 in tips. We also have income tax withheld in the amount of $3,500. This information would be on that W-2 that is mailed to you by the end of January. So let's go to our 1040. I'm going to pop this out so I can toggle between the directions by holding down the Alt key and pressing the Tab key one time. I can go back and forth to these tabs. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to go to my 1040 and I'm going to save this. And I'm going to save this. I'm going to hit Save a Copy. And I'm just going to save mine on my desktop. And instead of calling this blank 1040, I'm going to get rid of the word blank, and I'm going to put, well, what do you call those people? Servers. Server 1040. You can also put love those tips because that's what the scenario is called. So 1040, love those tips. So you know that this is the love those tips assignment. Now the scenario says that we are single and we're going to use our own name. And I'm going to pretend like I'm a teenager again. I'm going to use my maiden name. And I'm going to make up a social security number. I'm not married, but I'm going to put my home address from where I grew up way back in Pittsburgh. And that was a good old Pittsburgh, PA 15227. Okay, now we're not donating any of our money to the presidential election campaign. We're not foreign country, and we have no dependents. We are not blind. We weren't born before 1955. So we come down here to box number 1. Now for box number 1, we have to perform a mathematical problem, and that mathematical problem involves some addition. So let's get our calculator open, and let's add the amount of our wages, $27,350, plus our tips of $7,000. So our total is $34,350. This goes on line number 1 of your 1040. Was it 34? It was 34, right? 34,350. 34,350. So let's put that 34, 350.00. This scenario doesn't have any taxable income, so we don't have to do anything on lines 2B all the way down to 7B. So we have our wages, tips, and salaries, and any schedules if we had, but we do not have. So this $34,350, we're going to bring that down to line B. So I just copied and pasted that number down. Line A, adjustments to income from a schedule. If you had a schedule, you would attach that schedule here. We don't have that, so we are just going to copy that number down again. Line 9 asks us information about our standard deduction. We're single, and we will claim that $12,200. So put that $12,200 amount in line number 9. We don't have a business, so we aren't qualified to claim any business income deductions. So we go to line number 11, add line 9 and 10, so line 9 plus line 10 equals $12,200. Now, on line 11B, we have to perform a mathematical function. We have to subtract line 11A from line 8B. So go to your calculator, and I have my total already in there, so I'm going to press minus $12,200. So our taxable income is $22,150. That number is the number that we look on our tax chart. That's the number that we have to find how much was our tax liability. When we see how much our tax liability is, then we'll compare it with how much we actually had withheld from our paycheck. So we have to go back to our directions that I had you download. And in the directions, the information for the tax assignment. On page number 3, you have a tax table. And I'm going to zoom out so you can see the top of this tax table. There's important information at the top of the tax table. I'm going to make that big so you can see it. So, we are looking at if the amount is at least but less than. That's important. At least, but less than. So if you look at this number 21,000 to 21,050, you might think if you see 21,050 that that's the number that you use. But if you look down at the beginning of the at least, 21,050 is not 21,050. It's in the but less than 21,050. So you would bump up to the at least 21,050 amount of tax that should be withheld. And you also want to pay attention to the columns at the top. We have married, married filing jointly, married filing separately, and head of house. And if you just look at these numbers, you can see that the numbers are different in each of the columns except for single and married filing separately. So now let's go back to our tax return and refresh our memory. Our taxable income is $22,150. So we're going to go to that chart and look up $22,150. So I'm going to look for 22,000. Okay, here's the 22,000 block. And I'm looking for 22,150. So you see, I'm going to zoom out and go to the top, and I'm going to stop 22,150. So we are looking at 22,150 is at least 22,150, because if you look in the but less than, that would be 22,149. We also have to go over to the single column. The single column is the first one. So our tax that we should have paid is right here. It's $2,400, right here, $2,467. Okay, so we enter that number, that $2,467 in 12A. Add Schedule 2, line 3 and 12A together. So bring that 2467 down to 12B. 13A, we don't have any dependents, so we're going to leave that blank. 13B, add Schedule 3, line 7 and 13A together. We don't have anything there, so that would be 0. Then on line 14, subtract 13B from 12B. And so 13B from 12B, 12B minus 13B, that would be the same amount, $2,467.00. Other taxes we do not have. So line 16, our total tax that we have or should have paid is $2,467.00. Now we have to look back in our scenario. Since we don't have an actual W-2 for this, we just have problems, we're looking at our problem that I downloaded, and I'm going to go up to the scenario for love the tips. Love those tips. So if you look at the scenario, how much income tax was withheld? That's $3,500. So I'm going to go back to my form, and I'm going to put federal income tax. That's on line 7. What is it? Yeah, it's on line 17. So you're going to put that amount on your income tax return. So we have paid $3,500. We paid more. See, this is what we don't want to do. $3,500. We had $3,500 withheld from our paycheck. That's money that we could have been putting in our own bank account and earning interest. So that's why we want to try and get our number as close to 0 as possible. So let's look here. We don't have any children and any qualified income. And I do want to say that the government does give us a tax break when we have children because children require things and we have to buy things for them. So they give us a tax break. Now let's look. We don't have anything for 18A, B, C, or D. So let's go to 18E. Add 18A through 18D. These are other payments. We don't have those. So we're going to add line 17 and line 18. So that is bring this $3,500 amount back down because that's how much we have paid. So let's take a look at the information. We've paid $3,500. We should have paid $2,467. So we've overpaid our taxes. So now we're going to ask the government, please send us a refund. And I don't want to wait for a check. I want it to go electronically into my bank information. And I want to put this in my savings account. Now we did have an option here. I want to show you. We're going to take this and we're going to do a math problem again. So according to our information, we have paid $3,500 in taxes, but we should only have paid $2,467. So we've overpaid our taxes by $1,033. So we're going to take that $1,033.00, and that is entered on line 20. We don't want to save any of this for our next tax year. If we knew that next tax year you were going to have some contracting work and you wanted to get a jump on your taxes, you could put some of this money applied to your 2020 estimated tax. But we're not going that route because we have very simple life scenarios. And for those very simple life scenarios, you can do your own taxes and save money. So we want all of this. I want all of this. We don't check it, but I want to put the amount. I want all of my money. Give me my money. Show me my money. Give me my money back. And I'm going to copy it and I'm going to paste it down here because I want it all back. Now, if you wanted this to go directly into your checking account, on the bottom of your checks that you get when you open up a big boy, big girl savings and checking account, there's going to be a routing number. I'm not going to put, I don't know what my routing number is. Actually, I do have it memorized, 23, 184. 2201, something like that. I can't remember what it is. All routing numbers for Members First Bank, Members First Federal Credit Union is the same. So I'm going to say I want to enter my savings account, and then I'm going to make up an account number because I really don't know my account number. I always get confused. We don't want anything applied there, so that now we have officially completed our tax return. We're going to get $1,033 back. I'm going to show you a little tip and trick here. If you have the full version of Adobe downloaded and your screen looks exactly like mine, and you hit that little arrow over there, if you look over here, these are some extras, extras. So I'm going to click the More Tools because the thing that I want you to have probably isn't downloaded with your version. You're looking for this section that says Forms and Signatures. So there's this thing called Fill and Sign. And I want you to click that Fill and Sign, and that will make that active over here, and it puts a little menu up here, and I'm going to show you how to sign this. Now, it does come with a warning because it says the author of this form has specified the fields which you can fill. Click on any field to start filling form. Okie dokie. So we're going to be okay with that. So now what I want to show you is you can sign this yourself, and it will make a signature for you, or if you have a touch screen like I do, I could actually sign my name on my screen. So I'm going to show you how I write my name in cursive handwriting. And I would love to see your cursive handwriting because we don't teach you guys that anymore. So now you see I have my signature, and I can drag my signature where it says sign here, and I can sign that signature there. My occupation for this scenario is I am a server, and the IRS does have this PIN system built in, and in order to prevent people from stealing your identity and filing a tax return, they give you this unique PIN to prevent that fiasco of people stealing other people's tax returns. Okay, so this is the scenario. This scenario is now completed. We want to make sure we save this scenario. So I'm going to click File, and I'm going to go to Save As. And on the desktop, I am going to put this on my desktop, and I am going to call this, I put this Love Those Tips. So I already had one saved because I worked through it before, and I want to just save over that. So I'm going to save this as Love Those Tips 1040 form. That's what you should call yours. And put it on the desktop so that it's saved on the desktop. Just to show you, I'm going to go to my desktop. I'm not going to save that blank form because I don't need that saved. So I'm going to go right to my desktop.